All right, y'all. So yeah, that's what we've been dealing with. Let me take this hat off so you can see me a little better. But that's what we've been dealing with, y'all, for the past, I don't know, probably about 6 weeks. Um, so I guess you could say we've been suffering in silence because, well, let's take it back. So we found out like the week before we went to the Okie Homestead Expo, which ironically I'm wearing that shirt. But if y'all recall, mom, she does the girls' hairs, right? So during the session right before we went to Oki, when she was braiding Egypt's hair, she noticed that large lump behind her ear. And it was her first time noticing it. And come to find out, when she brought it up to Nana brought up how she had noticed it a little while before, but just didn't think too much of it. Plus, she didn't want to scare Egypt. And y'all know Natalie and I have been going back and forth for a lot of travel. And then we asked Egypt about it, and she said she's noticed it, but she's still a kid, so who knows. But she said that it's been there since she's noticed it since she was like 6 or 7, which we she's an honest child for the most part. She has her moments, but she's an honest child, so we have no reason to doubt her. But she's still a kid, so there might be some exaggeration in there. Because once again, Natalie does their hair, so we feel like we would have noticed something like that. And I'm kind of speaking on behalf of mom right now because she's where she's at. And sorry for the background noise. If you could hear that, it's raining like really hard. I just finished the animal chores and I had to switch out of what I had on because I got soaked. But that's homestead life, right? Or as one of our friends says, farming, y'all. Rain, shine, sleet, snow, whatever. Still got to take care of your babies, and not the human ones, the animals. So, mom and I were extremely concerned because, a, when we took her to her appointment, you remember the video we posted, and if you're one of the members of our core audience, which there's about 5,000 of you, there's about 5,000 of you that the title could be whatever it's going to be, the thumbnail could be whatever it's going to be, and y'all are going to watch the video regardless. And thank you so much if you're one of that about 5,000 people part of the Brown Brigade that like rock with our videos no matter what, right? So I know y'all remember the video when we took Egypt to her appointment and she got the HPV shot and the flu shot. I want to say she got 2 shots. That same appointment, her doctor took a look at it, and we were very, very, very nervous heading into that appointment because that was the whole reason we set up that appointment was for her doctor to take a look at, what that growth was. And then while we were there, she convinced us, well, really, she convinced Egypt to get the shots, and Egypt begged for them. I think that's even what we titled the video, that our daughter begged for this or whatever. But she looked at it and we were extremely nervous because we don't know if it's cancerous or not. But of course, as soon as mom saw it, she's on Google, she's on WebMD, so she's freaking out for like the 2 weeks we had to wait for that doctor's appointment. At the appointment, her doctor tells us that she doesn't think it's cancerous, she thinks it's just a cyst or something like that, and she was going to make a recommendation for us to see a plastic surgeon. That's what she called it, essentially. So we felt good. We were like, okay, cool. So about 4 days pass, and mom gets a call from the hospital to set up the appointment. And the person that called, essentially said something along the lines. I'm paraphrasing here because once again I'm speaking on behalf of mom. They essentially said something along the lines of, hey, we're here to set up your appointment for the cancer screening. So we both go back to freaking out all over again. Of course, we're trying to hold it together for Egypt because we don't want her to like catch on to what might be going on. And to make matters worse, the appointment and the surgery she was going to need was at the exact same hospital that baby Pharaoh got his open heart surgery 1 year earlier, like literally 1 year earlier. So the last place we thought we were going to be 1 year later was back in that same hospital for his surgery. But after the appointment, that's when we found out that the surgery that you already saw at the beginning of the video, it took place. So we're freaking out. And we had to, from the appointment to the surgery was like another 2.5 to 3 week wait, because the doctor said essentially he won't really know if it's just a cyst or something along those lines or cancerous until he's in there. Y'all, 4 children in. If you watch our lives, y'all know that we've spoken about the challenges of parenthood and how you just never know. Like, we're learning along the way, and you just never know what's going to happen. Or at least that's been our experience so far. I don't know, y'all. I was a hot mess, and I don't show emotion that much, but, you know, I was trying to hold it together for Egypt, and I'm not that much of an emotional person. In hindsight, you know, I think I should have been a little bit more, like, lovey-dovey, maybe. But that's where Natalie and I balanced each other out, because I was so freaked out that my way of coping with it, which made it easier because I was traveling for work anyway. I was in Memphis, Tennessee, for like 3 weeks, up into the surgery. So the distance like kind of helped me, although we kept in contact with technology. That distance helped me not like show emotion in front of her. But I was a hot mess. We don't, like, I don't know, our journey so far, Egypt for the most part has been a very healthy child up until this scare. Then Sahara was born. I'm not sure if many of you have noticed this. And once again, most of y'all are moms or grandmothers at this point. Y'all already know, moms, y'all remember all this stuff. So I don't remember the exact name of it. I'll ask mom, and if she remembers, I'll put it on the screen. But many of you don't know this because we never speak about it. And you've only noticed if you have a really close eye. But Sahara was born with an eye condition. And it's not like Jason's at Cog Hill, I don't think. But it's similar in that she doesn't have she can't move her right eye. It's her right eye? I believe it's her right eye. Like, if she's looking that way, this eye will look that way, but this eye will still be looking straight. Some people will call it cross-eyed, but that's not what it is, because she could look one direction with both eyes. It's just one eye she can't. So she has to turn her whole head. And only if she's really trying to look that way hard without turning her head will you notice. We're not sure what the resolution for that is. She's gone to an eye doctor. She has 20/20 vision, amazing vision. They didn't recommend surgery or anything like that, so I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, it hasn't inhibited her at all. You know, she's doing amazing in every way. She's very bright. She's already found out from her teacher that she's graduating and going to be going to first grade, graduating kindergarten, going to be moving on to first grade. She's a very bright girl. And she's very strong-willed, sassy. Y'all know this already. So then it's like, okay. So then we get to child number 3. Pharaoh. Y'all know about his journey. Now we're on child number 4 with baby Capri. And perfectly healthy, just like Egypt thus far. So it's been a roller coaster parenthood, but we're going to make it. You know, Egypt will be 11 in June, Sahara will be 6 in June. But, you know, we say all the time that literally every day is a new learning for us as parents, because Egypt is like the guinea pig for the other three. Every day, everything that Egypt experiences is not only a first for her, but it's a first for Natalie and I as parents. So, yeah. But let me get to what most of you want to know. So, after the surgery, you know, Natalie and I are a nervous wreck. We're kind of, you know, taking our mind off of it because we're having fun laughing at Egypt because, you know, she was on the anesthesia and was coming out of the fogginess of it, but she still had the effects of it. So you could see, it was earlier in the video, but I'll show it again, her trying to eat that popsicle they gave her post-surgery. Hilarious. But finally, the doctor comes in and he says what we were hoping to hear, which is that it was just a cyst. He has no reason to believe that it's cancerous. In fact, he felt extremely confident that it wasn't cancerous. He gave us our marching orders for how to care for it, what to do for school and all of that. And we have a follow-up appointment on May 1st where we're going to go back and he's going to look at the incision and do all the doctor things, and hopefully the report is exactly the same, which is that it was just a cyst and all of that. But so far we have a sigh of relief. We get our final sigh of relief. I would say that's going to be on March 1st, which is going to be this week. This week that we're uploading this, you could be watching this in the distant future, but this video is going to upload on, I believe it's going to upload on Tuesday, April 29th, 2025, in case you're watching this off in the future. So, whew. Crisis averted, y'all. I know I've been silent about this, so, you know, that's why I say we've been suffering in silence. Mom, she's a little bit more open. She shares a little bit more with family and close friends and stuff like that. So maybe some knew about this, but parenthood, man, it's been interesting. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And y'all know we want more. We're done biologically, but we do want to adopt at least one, possibly two, at some point in the future, but not within the next 5 years. 4 to 5 years, so we'll see. But all right, Egypt. So we're going to talk about your surgery. And what did you think that thing was that was behind your ear?
Air. I thought it was like a little bubble. Like one of those little bubbles that you get, like one of those blister bubbles.
So you thought it was just full of air?
Yeah, it felt like it.
Okay.
It was all squishy and stuff.
I mean, that's your perspective. That's good. I'm glad that's what you thought it was. And I'll just leave it at that. So when you found out that you were going to have surgery, what were your thoughts about that?
I was a little nervous, and then I was like, hey, I get to miss school. Then there was like a plus at the end.
Wow. How many days of school did you miss?
2.
2 days.
Still worth it in the end.
Yeah, I bet. Do you remember anything from the surgery?
Nope. I don't remember them giving me the shot. That's the fun
Exactly,
part.
because you start counting and then you fall asleep, right?
No, I didn't even get to count. They didn't.
You fell asleep that quick?
Yeah, like everything just went black.
Okay.
And then, like I had no dream.
Okay.
But then like they just put a mask over my face and they're like, breathe in and out. And then you're gonna feel a little sting right here on your left, and I was gone.
Do you remember anything from when you woke up?
Missing the popsicle shots.
Yeah. Yeah, you were having a hard time eating that popsicle. Okay. So for your future self or for your memory, is there anything that you want to add about the experience of your first ever surgery, and hopefully we pray your last surgery needed?
It was fun. For some reason.
You had fun with it.
Yeah, the doctors were pretty cool.
The doctor was nice. So that's an amazing outlook. I really appreciate and enjoy your perspective. And I love your attitude about it. That's very amazing. It's very great. Okay. So if you have nothing else to say, for today or your future self. I guess you could go back to your FaceTime with mom.
Okay.
All right, bye. Thank you to all of you that have been rocking with us. That core 5,000, thank y'all so much. To the others that, only click on certain videos, we love you just the same. We do wish that you would click every video or most videos or join us every week, but we understand that only certain titles or certain thumbnails are going to grab your attention. We didn't make the rules to the game. All we can do is play the game, and we understand you're doing the same as a viewer. You're just playing the game. A lot of people complain about controversial titles or clickbaity titles or only negative videos, but there's a reason why a lot of your favorite channels, some of you complain about it, but there's a reason why they do it, because it works. That's how you get views, right, wrong, or indifferent. But we get it, but we appreciate all of your love the same, and we thank you for the love and support and the prayers. And we didn't forget about the Q&A. So as I've said in our previous videos, if you ask a question in the comments and we don't respond to it, we're not ignoring you. We are simply saving that question so that 9 times out of 10 it could be a part of the Q&A video that Mom and I are going to make. So just keep that in mind. Y'all have an amazing rest of your week, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.